Rihanna telling her lies again. You know what I'm saying? The same way she lied about, you know what I'm saying, being dating or getting engaged to a so-called Saudi prince. You remember that? Whatever happened to that? Whatever happened to that Saudi prince? And then now you got her talking about this Super Bowl. Talking about her rejecting the Super Bowl because Kaepernick and Kaepernick. You know what I'm saying? I mean, these celebrities are just full with lies. Let's go ahead and break this news, people. Start spreading the news.
Beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes, chicken, turkeys, rat. You name it. Beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes.
Before I get into this news report, I want to let you know we got the baddest podcast in the land. I mean, the most dangerous podcast in the land. You know what I'm saying? Every Friday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we go live on our podcast exposing these satanic scumbags. Go right now and subscribe and support that podcast right now. Go to www.illuminatiexposedmedia.com. That's www.illuminatiexposedmedia.com. Also, we got our live shows on our Facebook fan page. You can go there by going to www.gospeltalktv.com. Both links will be in the description area of this show. All right, let me tell you something, people. See, because, you know what I'm saying, you got to understand that Rihanna will will tell you lies only if you would listen. You know what I'm saying? Look, Rihanna would tell you lies only if you would, you know what I'm saying, go along with her lies. Because let me tell you something, people. Anybody who does the Super Bowl halftime show, it is not the artist who got to say so or whether they do it or not. You know what I'm saying? Because every Super Bowl is already orchestrated. Every Super Bowl is already pre-designed and pre-orchestrated and pre-planned years before time. You know what I'm saying? They know who's going to do this. They know who's going to do this Super Bowl halftime last year. You understand? The contract is already signed. You know what I'm saying? Rituals is already done for the person to do the Super Bowl whenever. So if you say Rihanna, you know what I'm saying, rejected, she said she's not going to do the Super Bowl because, you know what I'm saying, the Kaepernick crap. Let me tell you something. That's bull crap. Because if the elites say that you are going to do the Super Bowl, you are going to do the Super Bowl. There is no you saying no. I'm going to put it like this. That's just like when we was back on those plantations and, you know what I'm saying, we was picking cotton for massa. You know what I'm saying? What would happen if the slave told massa that he wasn't going to pick cotton? What you think would happen? That slave would get killed. That slave would get beat. That slave would be tortured. So what you think? Rihanna is not a slave? That's what you're saying? You saying Rihanna is not a slave? You saying, yeah, I know you say Rihanna signed to Rock Nation. Well, who is Rock Nation signed to? Because Rock Nation is not a label. Well, I done started something there. You know what I'm saying? Because you guys want to get behind, oh, Rock Nation, that's Jay-Z's label. That's Jay-Z. Rock Nation is not a label. Who is behind Rock Nation? Because the real labels are the major distributors. Rock Nation is not a label. Who distributes for Rock Nation? The same way Cash Money is not a label. Who distributes for Cash Money? Don't believe me? All of the artists that was on Cash Money, who did they get transferred to? Did they not get transferred to Cash Money distributor, which is Universal? Drake. Who's Drake on? Who did Drake get distributed to? Is it not Universal? Who did Nicki Minaj get transferred to? Is it not Universal? Mostly all the artists that was on Cash Money label, they got distributed to Universal. They got recycled to Universal because Cash Money agenda is up. They don't need Cash Money no more. They don't need Birdman no more. You see what I'm saying? They don't need Birdman no more. They recycle those artists. Those artists is now completely signed to Cash Money distributor. The same way, you know what I'm saying, you got Rihanna. Oh, she signed to Rock Nation. She's not signed to Rock Nation. She's signed to the distributor. She's just using Rock Nation, and the distributor is just using Rock Nation to brainwash the masses. Because who, you know what I'm saying, Rihanna's a black woman, right? Being that Rihanna's a black woman, her being signed to a so-called black label, Rock Nation, that's going to cause, you know what I'm saying, that's going to bump up her sales. She's down with Jay-Z. She's down with the cause. Come on, man. You got to understand that this is all propaganda. This is all, you know what I'm saying, propaganda piece. You know what I'm saying? She did not, you know what I'm saying, take the deal with the football halftime show because she was not offered the deal to do the football halftime show. Don't let them damn brainwash your mind. Oh, I turned down that. Like she got say-so into turning something down or not. She don't even got say-so in her own bowel movements. I want you to ask you something, people. Whatever happened to her and that Saudi prince? You know what I'm saying? She's supposed to be, you know what I'm saying, engaged or something to a Saudi prince. How can you be engaged to a Saudi prince and that Saudi prince got other wives, but yet you are supposed to be transitioning to that Saudi prince? That Saudi prince, come on, it's no such, and the Saudi prince didn't go no justice of the priest to get, you know, that's how you know that was all foolishness. Because in that Saudi prince's customs, there is no such thing as no ring. There is no such thing as no engagement. Because Saudi Arabia knows that he who he lay with, that's your wife. Even, yeah, that's Ishmael's religion. But they still, you know what I'm saying, they still sons of, you know what I'm saying, Abraham. Abraham was the father of many nations. You know what I'm saying? And Ishmael is one of Abraham's sons also. I mean, Ishmael's, you know what I'm saying, didn't inherit the promise. That's why you see some of the customs of Ishmael, you see some of them look Hebrewish customs. You see what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? That's how I told you that, you know what I'm saying? I know I'm all over the place with this, but you know what I'm saying? I have to cover a lot of basics. With this Rihanna thing, you know what I'm saying? That Rihanna and that Saudi prince thing, that was a propaganda piece. You know what I'm saying? And the same way with this Kaepernick thing, that's a propaganda piece. Rihanna ain't got no say-so in you know what I'm saying, in what she do. She probably does. She don't even have say-so in her own bowel movements. Let alone, you know what I'm saying, if she was told to do the halftime show, you best believe she's gonna do the halftime show. That's bottom line, you know what I'm saying? Rihanna talking about, I turned down the Kaepernick thing because I felt that it wasn't right. It wasn't right. You know what's not right, Miss Rihanna? Let me tell you what's not right. By you casting spells through your music on my brothers and sisters, that is what's not right. You know what I'm saying? That's what's not right. You know what I'm saying? You know what's not right? What's not right is how you sacrificed your nephew. That's what's not right. You know what's not right? By you suing your own father because your father wanted to use your image. That's what's not right. But people don't see that. You see what I'm saying, people? This is a propaganda. You know what I'm saying? This is all she's doing this all to promote her so-called memoir or that little documentary or some type of book she coming out with that got over 1,000 pictures of her childhood and stuff. You know what I'm saying? She's just doing that just to promote her book. Anyway, this is news. I know I was all over the place with this one, but hopefully the Most High will bring it together and make it make sense. But anyway, the baddest podcast in the land is over at my podcast every Friday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you go to that podcast. Make sure you subscribe to that podcast. Make sure you support that podcast. www.illuminatiexposedmedia.com. That's www.illuminatiexposedmedia.com. You know what I'm saying? We exposing all these satanic scumbags on that podcast, uncut raw. See, I can say whatever I want to on my podcast that I can't say on these YouTube videos. So check out that podcast. Also, we go live on our Facebook fan page, www.gospeltalktv.com. Both links will be in the description area of this show. Till next time, stay tuned. God bless you.
Beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes, chicken, turkeys, rat. You name it. Beans, greens, potatoes.